Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time to the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over their ways on WNTF. Nevermind the Furthermore. Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you by a generous grant from the good folks over at Independant.org. Yes, the Independent Creator Directory, your one-stop shop for the best and bright... Stay. Thank you. Best and brightest creatives, authors, artists, musicians, podcasters. You can meet up with folks who will handle your flatting or your editing to help you make your projects a reality. And if you are a creative looking for a place to have an online presence and a great community, join up for a low single one-time payment. You can be established online. This is one of the best options for somebody new getting into the wonderful world of selling your wares. So really support the Independent Creative Directory. Now, we are also made possible by my books. And those, of course, include, we're going to go through them all, and then we're going to talk. The Simple Sword, The Fighting Axe, and The Simple Spear. These three are a huge part of my ongoing series on how to sword fight to help you learn the basics of martial combat in a safe and plain understandable manner. Wow, I look like I should be saying aliens. We're also made possible by sales of the Big Stompy Robots line of games and books. There are two great novellas out there that few people have gotten a hold of, full of intrigue and comedy, and as always with me, a little bit of horror, as great mechanized vehicles stride across the battlefields of the future. Also made possible by sales of the Hybrids role-playing game, the Quick Play. Now, this is getting increasingly hard to get a hold of, so folks, reach out and get your copy while you can. Mostly you get best from me or Luke Stone. And guys, through the thinning veil, I'm going to pause and say, this is one of my better works. I don't know if cozy horror is a concept yet, but it needs to be, because sometimes you just want a little quick collection of scary stories that you can read on your lunch break or when you have a minute. Through the Thinning Veil is also natively set large print. So I wrote this book in part to tell some scary stories and in part to make it easy to read. There are 7 stories in here, including a much improved edit on The Whisperer. And many of them are actually rooted in my experiences from being a paranormal consultant. But not all of them. Some are pure fiction. It's really up to you to decide what is what. So read it, enjoy it. Now, before we get into the usual flow of the holiday of the show, sorry if I'm a little staggered today. Today is September 11th, and I just want to take a minute to pause and think not just about the just shy of 3,000 lives lost, but of the dramatic change that both came over the United States, my home, during that, and the loss of innocence that simply those born after will never know. This always hits me hard. It was a very, very scary time. But it also started a brief, if horrible, period where the American people were unified. And but to this day, I have to be cautious. When I hear a Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue by Toby Keith. For a lot of people, it's just another flag-waving, angry country song. But when that hit, the spirit that it carried was terrifying and powerful. We as people carried a fury that I think is still being felt in places of the world today. And for good or ill, whatever your assessment, a lot changed in America. And not all of it for the best. So there's always a lot to learn from these things. And normally it's my job to pep you up in the morning, and I will do my best. But it's also important to remember what was and what can never be again. This is a big part of why I do not tolerate hate of any kind. I do not tolerate the aggrandizement of villainy of any kind. And nor will I ever. Because, pardon me. Because it is too easy. It's too easy to let that sort of thing grow and fester. It must be acknowledged, it must be dealt with, and then it must be for lack of a better word, dismissed. I do not believe hatred ever serves a point. There are times when forces in this world have become so twisted that they become as rabid dogs. We do not hate a rabid dog. Can't help it. We put it down and then we move on. We pray for forgiveness for everyone involved. Now, with that bit said, I'm not going to engage in the where I was and do that. Many people will, and there's nothing wrong with it. It is not healthy for me to do so, because that dovetails into a period of my life, a time where that is not a good place for me to go. So, with respect to all that fell, and praise to all the heroes who rose from the ashes and continue to, I will say it will not be over nor right until our government acknowledges the injuries sustained by the first responders and takes care of them medically for the rest of their lives. Hard stop. And I will say this, guys, the best way to spite those who conspire villainously against you, and I mean this in the most literal and hard set terms, we have to lick our wounds whenever this comes up, and there's nothing wrong with remembering scars and how we got them. But if you wish actually to spite those who would steal your joy, those who would steal your love, those who would steal your life, your options can be that of negativity. It can be to let it form a rage, a fire that destroys and rends all it sees into nothing but spent carbon. And sometimes, if we're honest, but the best way to spite those who would wish you harm, the best way to spite those who twist curses against you in the dark and mutter vile things in places seen and unseen, is to go forward boldly. It is to blaze out and take your fury and purify it into a light of creativity, to transmute the rage of what can be inflicted upon you into love and creativity, to build something out of nothing, or worse, to take the negatives in our world and positive. I am a man who has been cursed with nightmares, and they have been a blessing upon me because I have used those to craft stories. I've used those to gain perspective. I've used those to help make myself a notch, perhaps, or two closer to the kind of person I wish I had in those dark hours. And friends, the kind of people you're going to find in the chat today, the kind of people who rise up and create and tell the stories, who put out there and help people, are not the kind of people who have come through an easy road. It is not an easy thing to be gentle. It is not an easy thing to simply allow kindness. And it is not an easy thing to create independently in a world of mass production and equally massive oppression. No. Every pen stroke, every keystroke is a strike against forced normality, is a strike against mundanity. It is a chance for you to tell the people, because friends, they do exist, that would wish you harm, that have tried to bottle you through fear and ignorance, that no, I will not be silent. I will not be quiet. I will never go gentle into that. Good night, friends. And today, this Monday, September 11th, I do ask you, what are you doing to rise up? Not in violence or hate. That is easy and cowardly, but in creativity and love. What stories are you telling? What items are you making? How are you leaving a mark on the world that even in the shifting sands of time may leave a moment that someone else can gaze upon with wonder, with hope? Because people have this illusion. They have this misconception, folks, that it is a easy path to be gentle. It is being propelled in many people's eyes that to be meek is to be weak, and that is a fallacy I shall not stand. Too often are the darker forces aggrandized. Too often do we look at the power of the bully, the power of the dominant, the power of the individual who holds down those to make themselves look better, and envy their position. I will never believe that such a point of view, such an angle, such a perspective is worth the cost of admission. Do not forsake your humanity. Do not forsake your hope, ever. Don't forsake it to despair. Don't forsake it to rage. Don't forsake it to the grind that seems to seek to devour and consume us. No. Instead, I want you guys to take and harness and use that to build communities, to tell stories, to do what you love. If that, whatever it is. In my universe, it's very simple. If everyone is consenting and no one is being hurt. And it brings joy to your world. Seek it. Seek love, seek joy, seek beauty. These things matter. Because as so often on an anniversary of a great dark time, I personally can feel it. Perhaps it is my assortment of illnesses, perhaps ailments, perhaps it is my empathy, perhaps it is my raw humanity that perhaps lays just a shed too close to the surface sometimes. But as we go out today, we will be bombarded with messages of remembered sorrow. And it's necessary, and it's important, perhaps even cathartic. But never let that turn into additional fear. Never let that put you farther into your box, because that, my friends, is what the bad guys want. The bad guys will always want you afraid. They will always want you diminished. They will always want your light turned down. And friends, I believe that we have been given a gift. I believe that everyone has at least one gift, but usually many, many more. And we have an opportunity and a necessity to wield that gift towards positivity and love and truth and kindness. Not the nicety of transaction, not the sugar-coated of sucking up to people, but the honest, kind, loving truth. It's hard to write stories sometimes. It's hard to draw. It's hard to produce. It's hard to put your stories out. It's hard to put your opinion out. Because we live in a world where sometimes that is very difficult. But friends, I am so powerfully proud of you. I am so just incensed. It arcs like electricity through my being. The joy I see when somebody takes a pen to tell their story. I may not like it. I may vehemently disagree, but I acknowledge the courage it takes. The valor to stand in the light of people, the world of people telling you you can't do it when you can. Do not go gentle into the night. Do not let fear ever fully consume you. The bad guys don't deserve that power. I've lived through several events in my life where there's been necessary cowardice. The only way you can get out of this is being very small and being very quiet. And sometimes that is necessary, but only as long as it's necessary. And never feel bad for the times in your life where you've had to do that to survive, because survival is the first step to hope. But creativity is what marks the passage of our time, because we are not meant to simply be wage slaves making a pittance to provide the greatest share to, our overlords. That's not what humanity is about. That's what tyranny is about. And I don't care from what direction it comes. We are meant to take care of each other. And I'm sorry if I got fired up. That's what happens when I feel the darkness enclosing. When I feel that spirit of fear from the past rise up and whisper, remember how scared you were? Remember how alone you felt? And not just from the state. We all have dark and holy sacred days where we must remember the times the bad guys won, or the times the bad guys struck, whoever or whatever they are. We must remember. And then we must try to move forward. We must try to move beyond and we must try to heal. And I heal through creativity. I heal through the creativity of others. And that, friends, is what moves me. And I may go late today. I'm already off my usual schedule, and I am okay with that. Because, brothers and sisters, I felt like I could feel it. I always do on September 11th. It's one of those days of the year. But I think this year, I feel strongly that it's more important to do things otherwise. It's more important to empower ourselves and each other and to be there. And so I'm going to do that, come heck or high water, because that's what I'm about. At my core of gentle breezes, there is a hurricane. Never mistake or forget the way the wind may blow. But I have elected and refined over many years a path of harnessing that, a path of wielding it instead of being wielded by it. And the thing is, I'm going to talk about people. I'm going to get in my chat. I'm 85 comments behind, folks. And that's okay, because I will get through my chat. And every person in the chat Every one of those comments is tied to somebody with a story. The vast majority, I suspect, are tied with stories of people I respect and admire who have taken the challenge of creativity and embraced it and walked boldly into that. I say it often, it's in my scroll. Fear is okay. Fear is not a terrible thing. Fear is a necessity. It's like pain. But remember, fear is a gate, not a wall. So those of you who are afraid to publish, those of you who are wondering, what if I don't make any money? What if you do? What if you truly find that you enjoy it? And what if every minute you spend not chasing those dreams is a minute you'll never get back? That type of regret is far, far worse for me than the feeling of regret when I've tried something and planted firmly on my face time and time again. It is a wonder that I have such a large and present nose, given how many times I have flattened myself in a dramatic and comedic fashion. I believe and I respect the part of you that wants to try. And so this Monday, instead of letting myself succumb to the burden of memory, beyond the necessary moments of silence, because we should have those, we should have a moment of silence to remember the fallen and that which changed. But then, dear friends, after the silence, after the terrible stillness of the heart that comes in memory, crystalline and frozen, times etched in our minds like they've been kissed by firebrands, we have to blaze. So live today in spite of the villainy and never aggrandize it. Never give that which is falsely enticing an inch. Now, right now, my paladin streak is showing real bright. But I think it all needs to be said. So I have. With that, I'm going to fill you in, likely briefly, on the glory that was this weekend, because I have said my piece on the negative, and I am now accentuating the positive and not messing with Mr. In Between. This Saturday was Library Con. And I say to you folks who missed it, I feel great empathy for you. And I feel your loss acutely, because this was a gathering of some blessed lunatics and a wonderful time. The incomparable Brian K. Morris, for whom I am and yes, I know I'm zoomed in. Today's been a day of passionate thinking, and I did not bother to adjust my my settings. The lovely Cookie Morris. We had Uncle Carl and Aunt Donna and Molly Daniels and Trey and Joey. even our own Alex Creation should got to meet a bunch of these fine, fine folks. There was another gentleman who showed up and left early, and I will say I wish him well and drop it there. But we had a blast. We got to hang out. We went to the Good Table in Ketland afterwards, and it was such joy. And it made me realize some things. Because it was only a 4-hour event plus an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half at the restaurant. It was just whip crack for me to be around so many people I love. Because, and I will say this unabashedly, I always feel more complete when I'm around my dear friend Trelana and my dear friend Joe. There aren't words to describe it. And no, it's nothing inappropriate, but I just, in perhaps a bout of greed, self-service, I don't know. But in the moments that we're all together, I feel like the pieces of me have come back. And the funny thing is, the more I gain, I see Brian and Cookie and Carl, and it extends. When you find people who you are more than yourself when you're around, when you are a better you, hold to them dearly, friends. We have some new books. I just put Mandy in charge of keeping track of buying, because I have this habit of rebuying my friends' books. I sold some things. People are telling me about Through the Thinning Veil, that they enjoyed it. I'm starting to get the little messages, because I'm not going to say it's not a fast read. It's a very fast read. It was meant to be a fast read. It was meant to be 7 fast reads, actually, plus a introduction and afterward. However, seeing the people is of far greater value to me than any monetary gain. Although monetary gain is welcomed and appreciated, and please seriously go buy my books. But I can't thank them enough for coming out to LibraryCon, because the attendance was rather poor due to the weather shift, I guess. I don't know. We will actually intend to expand LibraryCon into something more. But that comes later. For now, guys, I will tell you there is nothing like setting up your booth. Seeing your booth up with pictures and products, all merchandised delightfully, seeing your friends and colleagues around, it is a great joy. And for those of you who are perhaps thinking of putting your toe in the waters of creativity and of selling, do it. Just do it. It's worth it. So, friends, thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for being here. I am incredibly behind in my broadcast, and I am going to run late, and I hope Nita can understand. But today is a day where such things happen. And before we do that, I've got to run an ad, and I will get back to your comments, because as passionate as I've been today, and friends and colleagues, I have been passionate, you almost got full brother love out of me. Joe may just be a bit more useful in the long run for some of you.
Hi, I'm Joe Bachman with the Independent Creator Directory, and we're going to talk about what is the Independent Creators Directory today. Well, this was created so that creators of various disciplines could have a space to list links to their works to promote themselves and also promote other creators that they know. This also gives them a way of having all their links stored so that if by chance they get the ban hammer from any of the major social media networks, they still have a place they can send people to be able to look at what they've created. To become a member, just go to indiecd.org, click on Become a Member in the top right. It's a $20 lifetime fee that also includes updates to your page whenever you have new works that come out. All you have to do is contact me. I am the one that sets up your page for you. I am also the one that does all the updates for you. You'll also have access to the back end for a blog if you're wanting that feature. And I can also grant you access to the calendar to be able to add in any events that you may be going to. For any other questions you may have, feel free to reach out to me on Facebook, on the Independent Creator Directory Facebook page, or by emailing me at jbachman@indiecd.org. Thank you and have a great day.
Joe, you have a great day and a better night. Now, I'm sorry. It might be shocking, but I did not plan to cut loose like that. I did not plan to go quite into that much passionate detail on things, and that level of oratory expression can be a bit much for my throat when I'm not expecting to feel the passions rise. But with all that as an extensive preamble and understanding it's going to be a long show today, let's get into the comments. First through the door at 9:05 was good morning and happy Monday, folks. Happy Monday, Joe, because that's Joe Bachman, a.k.a. the Independent Creator Directory. Subscribe to both his channels for some amazing programming. I'll do more ads later. And followed by Alex Creations. Hi, Joe. Hey, Alec. It was great seeing you Friday. Keep working. I saw your email. I responded. I believe in you, and I believe you can transcend always. Wow, where is everybody? Well, during that time, Brian K. Morris had his. Oh, I'm sorry. I promised I'd step back and give you guys some room. I was a little too passionate today. Forgot. Let me give you guys some space. There we go. That's a little easier on you. Nobody wants that much Nick in the morning, but Brian K. Morris was doing an episode of No Warning, which was fascinating. It always is. He occasionally does it on Mondays at 9 a.m. And let's see, they will be coming in shortly. Most of them are over on Brian's stream, No Warning. LOL, fair. Wow. One moment. I'm too far behind in that the comment dumps are actually happening while other comment dumps are happening. So I have to knock through some of these comments real quick, which means there's going to be a lot of greetings. And we've got greetings. They will be in shortly. LOL, fair. Good morning. Just hanging on the end of No Warning. We got greetings from Donna. Hi, Donna. Hi, Carl. Good seeing you again. It was great seeing you guys at Library Con. Completely made my month. Morning. Yep. I was watching BCam and now you're here. Well, I hope it's been an entertaining reason to be here. Hi, Dawn. Yay, Dawn. Have you been on FB yet? Uh-oh. Morning, everyone. I'm so glad I got to hug Donna. She's a good hug. It was great to meet you and Joby and Trey. The others we'd already met. Wish we had talked more, but they're only a few hours. I need to fix that. I got to put a face on that intro video. Yep. Not yet, Carl. Should I be looking for something specific on behalf of where else but the humor group? Uh-oh. Yep. Donna's featuring on more stuff over there. Someone might start getting jealous now. Hey, BKM, last man standing. Oh, wait. Long time no see. Yeah, is BKM in the chat? It's Nick. Yep. Objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. Sorry, I had not adjusted. And Chris Walker. Hello, Chris. Understandable manner. It's always a good thing. Chris, daylight sightings of Chris Walker. I'm impressed. Boy, did you pick a show to walk in. You caught me when I was in full swing. Who would be jealous? Hey, Chris. And I love the Dork Cave signal. Whatever, Dawn. That was suggested on the nighttime show. Carl isn't often, but my night owl nature is dominant. I understand and respect that. Hello, everyone. And we got more greetings and hello. And sorry, catching up on comments. It was great to finally meet Alec and Carl Witzman and Donna Carly Culling, Brian K. Morrison, Cookie Moore. Yeah, you got to meet everybody. That's part of why I kind of tried to hang back and let you guys get that stuff. I don't know, Nick, I don't know if we lost our innocence as much as we lost the naivety that many of us had. Individual naivete, innocence is a nation. Or in a generational sense. Because it was a matter of they didn't know what they didn't know. Afternoon. Hello, Bonsert. I'm sorry you came in on a passionate day, but I'm glad you're here. We're getting back into things. Chat. And the Independent Creator Directory was able to get copies of Mad Gasser from Carl and Trey and pick up a copy of Woodstock Dreams. Oh my. Does everyone else say Gesundheit when Nick sneezes? Yes, you do. And somehow I feel it in my soul. It is appreciated. I'd hate to get occupied. And we've got more greetings. Trey, my beloved Trelena. Hello, darling. How are you? Wow. Yes, we have a Trey sighting. She will be getting her book out fairly soon as well. And I am very much looking forward to it. And others, because she has a lot going on. Hey, Bonsert. Hey, Trey. Oh, yeah, Trey was at LibraryCon, too. Guess that was good to see. Instead of a new little heart YouTube, they need a Gesundheit icon. And good morning, Grant. And good morning, everybody say, Trey. I'm still massively behind. Comment dump in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Actually, let's see. I need to run another ad. I am behind on ads, so I will run a brief ad. Let's see. Who shall I run an ad for? Yes. I will run one for Cindy, because Cindy hasn't been around in a while, and I want to see her ad go. So there we go. Sydney Koepp's an amazing creative, and I love her work. And we're going to have another comment. I have to go oh, dear Lord. I'm going to try to get through these comments, guys. And we got more greetings. And with this episode 4 of the Independent Creator Directory podcast should have released this morning. You can find the link on Joe Bachman profile on indiecd.org. We got more greetings, and apparently Angie made Grant a bagel with salmon, avocado, and cream cheese. That sounds pleasant. Okay. 9 watching, 6 likes. You guys know who you are. Please hit the like button. Solemn day and bad memory. I wish we could become as united as we were the days after. Special thanks to first responders serving military as well as former members of those ranks. Abso-fraggin-lutely. Well said, sir. Hi, everyone. Hi, Kelly. Kelly Carlisle is the creator of, let me get where we are. Not only from the paranormal case files of Bishop Kincaid, the Rembrandt Stratagem. Guys, it's an amazing book. It's on my bedstand. And the person who brought together and a writer in the presenter, that's a good word, of Atomic Stories, #1, 8 pulse-pounding pulp stories. Guys, October is coming very quickly for the 2nd edition of Bishop Kincaid. I am intensely excited to see that come out, as well as in March of next year. You know, we need more good pulp stories. We need more stories of heroism and wonder. And Kelly is absolutely bringing it. Good morning, Kelly. Now we'll get back to the comments. As the comment dump just goes, dumpy. I wish it had go to current comment. Needs go to current comment. Where are we? Okay. Give me just a moment to find where I am, because the comments are coming and they don't stop coming. There we are. And we've got more greetings. More greetings. Oh, God, I am vastly behind. Greetings. Amen, Brother Tockert. Heaven help me and everyone around me if I ever figure out my denomination properly. Because occasionally I do know I slightly sermonize on subjects that are of great import. But I do try to only use that power for good. Kindness is a choice, and to choose it is a choice for good. Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, I'm outside for several hours as they spray for nasty critters. That's dangerous. I take that very seriously. I hope you have PPE of some sort, personal protective equipment. Poor Kelly, cough. Hope those buggers know to stay out of your place. Grant went to EerieCon this weekend. It was the first convention I thought about leaving halfway through. Oh. Bed bugs suck. Someone brought them in, spread them to different floors. Oh, no. Bad. And at least my work continues. Please keep it up. Hey, Kelly. It's not good. It just felt like pulling teeth to get one freaking sale. And that'll happen sometimes. Boo pad, guys. Go good, guys. Yeah, sometimes that's the only way we can look at it. Yeah, been there too, Grant. And it happens. But don't let the practicalities ever interfere with the joy of it. You're out selling comic books. And maybe you're not making it right at that moment, but you are out chasing and succeeding in a dream. Millions sit and in class staring out the window thinking that they'll do and never pick up a pen to even attempt. Keep the perspective. I'm still bummed out that I missed LibraryCon, but had fun with my friends and celebrating the only way a 2-year-old can. There will be other times. You're not that far from us. Grant, plant the seed, don't get flustered. That's right. A lot of times you'll get sales after a convention. Yep, spread joy and happiness when and where you can. Laughter, too. There are reasons I wear Hawaiian shirts whenever I go out. You made a good choice, Don. Don't grieve the other path. You have HoloCon. Oh, good morning, Blue Teddy. For people who don't know, Blue Teddy's one of my favorite people online. And after, we'll call it a lengthy hiatus, Blue Teddy went back to doing her drawings and narrations. And she did a wonderful telling of the Brothers Grimm version of Snow White, which, like all the greats, is a bit more, well, grim, and made some fascinating points in discussion on the nature of femininity and how it's expressed, and not to encapsulate or overstep on that, but I didn't watch it last night. We live in a world that seems just built upon yucking other people's yums, and that's not necessary. We need to find the joy in each other's works and really live for it. And we've got people saying hi to Blue Teddy, and it is you get going again and get Blue. I need a 30-second to a minute commercial about what you do. I try to rotate them around, show people who are here, support where I can, because the commercials I do, with the exception of Joe, who pays me handsomely in keeping this online, is a free service. But yeah, let's see if you can get a 30-second plug made for you, or maybe Dr. Crow's stuff that I can help promote, because that's what I'm about. That's why it's important for you guys to share stuff. I'm not looking for you to share my stuff because of my stuff. Share my stuff so it shares other people's stuff. Apparently, Mom, Dad, and the grandparents forgot to take take pics. And I was clicking left and right. Sometimes you need to be the designated photographer. Nick will be with the chat soon. Normally I would have been, but today was a not normal day, and I'm getting there. It reminds me a little bit of Dan at the moment. I take that as incredibly high praise, sir. Thank you. Nick has wisdom beyond his years. Thank you for that as well. Kelly's service, it keeps going in and out. Stay awesome, everyone. You too, Kelly. You can catch me. Well, Kelly, we can catch up Wednesday. I know she's not here, but I try to talk to everyone like they are. Of that, it's obvious. Thank you. And where everybody's enjoying seeing Kelly. The light that follows the darkness can be blinding. Well, I'll tell you guys a little secret about me. I am not a bright light. I am not a radiant being. I'm a very dim little tiny, fat chunk of, a half melted votive. But I can be all right in the dim places that people forget. So that's where I tend to live. There are much better and brighter folks out there, beaming with a glory it's like spotlights in the sky. And for a long time, I envied them. And part of me always will, just a little bit. But I'm also very content to find the little quiet places where I can be of use. I like being of use. Since we're on to lighter topics, accountability. Yes! Blue Teddy made a great commercial, great video. I really hope you guys watch this one. I was just talking about it. So see, Blue, it may have taken me a while to get there. Let's see. Grant says, I'm starting to worry that I just can't relate to the younger generation enough to be a successful comic book creator. Gen Zers almost never buy my comic, and I can't wrap my head around the stuff that they like. Well, I believe to answer that, you need to tell your story. First off, your story is good. Your art is good. Your lettering is good. And anybody who says lettering is not important, I will happily give the sharp side of my tongue to, because if I can't process what's being put on a page, it isn't worth it. And I have a book on lettering that I bought. I want to say it's Lettering the Comic Craft Way, that had great reviews. However, they had so much fun with the different lettering, it's illegible. Off topic, but true. Now, Grant, I think perhaps you have been following the very traditional path of trying to get into comic book shops, just comic shows. Perhaps your audience isn't quite where you're fishing yet. I'm not sure. It's not easy, but please keep trying. And we got greetings. Let's see. When you are around people who bring out the best of you and make your spirit happy, it's an extraordinary and special thing. Absolutely. And Trelena Bachman is the person I selected as the successor to me in the case of something happens to keep my dream of teaching people to sword fight alive. She is one of the most quietly passionate people I have ever met, and a true radiant light. Trelena is a beauty in the darkness, and never doubt that. And I will always love her appropriately. Don't people? I'll say something like that, and people always go, "Yeah." Well, mostly appropriately. I'm kidding. Or am I? I don't know. No. Trey's just splendid, and Joe is one of the best men ever to walk the earth, and I mean that. I can have never seen him say something unkind that was unjust. He's a truthful, honest. That's why he has the backdoor keys to my digital kingdom. And the fact that he covered for me during my shows while I couldn't is both a huge testament to the fact of how much I trust him and how much I've grown to be able to trust anyone. So when you find the right people, your world changes. Brian K. Morris has been probably the most important person I met after college in my life. Brian is a mentor and a guide and a friend and a true inspiration, both as a broadcaster and as a creative in my assorted things. A fount of wisdom who should be respected. And the amount of insight that Carl and Donna carry are phenomenal. I'll be honest, I barely know Molly Daniels. I don't know her terribly well. But every time I'm around her, it is a very happy, a very joyous time. She's very, very sharp. And she's one of those people who doesn't always present just how sharp she is. Not saying she plays dumb, she plays quiet, which is a sign of intelligence. When you are around the right people, you will better yourself. Okay? They make you better, either spiritually or mentally. They challenge you in the right ways. And if you are on your BS, as all of us get on, they'll call you on it. Because a good friend will respectfully tell you when you're being a dick, or insert expletive here. I'm privileged to be in the company of such people. Hi, Teddy. Grant, don't think like that. Yeah, you can't let the negativity get you, Grant. Okay, Blue. Young people want almost nothing to do with non-Japanese comics. I almost never sell a comic to anyone under 30. Well, then don't target them. Look, knowing your demographic, don't mourn the demographic you don't have currently. Grow the one you do. You know, how long have some of these game shows have been on and they only target the older demographics? Just accept that that's part of it for now. Thanks, Carl. And yeah, know your audience, embrace your audience. That will or may shift. Right? They will eventually want to get into other ideas. Just do the work. Don't let despair get you. Uh-oh, I almost forgot to get nuts at the grocery store this weekend. Can't have that. Eventually, indie comics will build their own reputation. DC and Marvel lost my generation and younger. Doesn't mean indies can't win them back. Exactly. As long as you're telling a good story and you're providing content, it will work. Carl said, I ran to the washroom during Cindy's ads and got a hopeful look from Charcoal, so cat lunchtime is nigh. I understand. I'm running late, Carl, and I apologize. I'm sorry for anything you missed, but you must feed the kitties. Mine aren't hounding me yet. Thanks for the pics of her using the tower. Makes my heart happy. Keep them coming. Will do. Wow, I'm getting some massive charcoal love rubbing on my legs. Wait till she finds out she's not getting eggy for lunch today. Oopsie. No, eggy. Womp, 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 womp. Thanks for talking about it. Appreciate it. I was going to. It was one of the big points. I basically had 3 things I wanted to talk about today. I had some stuff about the date that I felt needed to be said, and I didn't know how much till I started talking. I want to talk about LibraryCon, and I want to talk about your really nice video. I didn't even mention that I did an art stream last night. That was quite fun, setting up the images for tonight. Let's see. Donna's having lunch with her bestie before she goes under the knife for thumb surgery. Charcoal will get eggy tomorrow. Oh, hope her surgery goes well. It's one of those 50-50 surgeries, 50% chance she'll get a thumb working again, 100% chance if she doesn't. It won't work if she doesn't. Gotcha. We are all hoping for your friend. And I do believe that prayer and thought do affect the outcome of things. And I do firmly believe, as a Christian, which, not popular sometimes, mostly because people who miss the point are loud about missing the point, but that, before a great undertaking, it's a good idea to get down on your knees, those of us whose knees work, and thank God and ask for help with anything that's coming down the pipe or is going on. Conversing with the boss is always a good idea. But then you get up off your knees and do something about it. Oh, I should mention that I gave that tablet to Joe B to give to Rich, so that will probably delay his writing career, and I fully take... I was making a joke, buddy. As you can hear, my executive producer is up and rumbling around and wondering... My son Xander, with an X, is spelled with an X, not with one of my X's. That would be bizarre. Is awake and commenting, as he often does. But he has permission to do so because he's my kid and he lives here. BKM and Cookie are a force of nature and talent. They really are. And we got, thanks, Chris. She's a nurse, so it's been driving her doctor crazy. No need to apologize about running late. It's all good. They had a very late lunch on Saturday. Donna, when you risk losing the use of a thumb or something else you want to keep in need, I don't blame your friend at all. No, I don't either. And somehow, thanks to the courtesy of you guys, morning, Xander, And yes, Nick, bad Christians give good ones a bad name. And I can make it real simple. There are a couple bits of the Bible, and I'm just a layman. I am not a priest. I'm not a pastor. I considered going down that route early in my life and elected not to because I can always go back down it if I'm supposed to later. But I will say this on that topic. To paraphrase, they asked Jesus, what are the two most important commandments? Love God with all your heart, mind, and body. No, heart, mind, and soul. Sorry. And love your neighbor as yourself. Those are the big ones. So anything that is said that conflicts with that is, in my mind, and it's very like true logic, if-then statements, then it must be false. And as for the other bit, I do believe that a person can only serve one master at their core, and most your choice is either God is your master if you are proclaiming to be a Christian, especially a preacher, or money is your master. Mammon. You can't serve both. I hate to say it, but I think a lot of people could be fed and a lot of good done with the funds that have gone into certain preachers' suits, let alone their fancy cars and houses and aeroplanes. So, and I've said it. Good thing that Xander's listening for those pained yells. Absolutely. Someday it could be needed. Oh, I'm not complaining. And with that, everyone have a great day and enjoy your soft food. Oh, wait, that's the cats. Hey, with the way my teeth are, and I have a little oatmeal, I enjoy soft food too. Just be good to each other. It's just that simple. Yes. In the words of those most impressive philosophers of my era and the future that we could have, be excellent to each other. Yeah, they're both here now. Time for kitty lunch. Laters, everyone. Laters, everyone. And you know what? We're only 7 minutes out. I think I'll run a couple ads, and then we'll wrap up. So let's see. Oh, yes.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel. But otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my rock and roll art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
Mike Jimmy's doing amazing work, and Life on Core is an incredible book. Please also support the books of everyone that I've done. I got behind on the ads today because there were some things that needed to be discussed. I hope you guys can stay out there and stay creative. I had Joe, the SOC Dawn of NDF. With that, guys, get creative, get writing, get drawing, because you can always fix it, you can improve it, but you can't edit a blank page. I love you. You have a wonderful day. And I will see you Wednesday for the next episode of Nevermind the Furthermore.